work great. I think that works awesome. Convincing Alex.
I'm going to attempt to lay the cardboard. I've actually in all my machining never done this. So. Seems to be working. It's making a mess. Pretty hard cardboard too. Fun part's going to be boring it out. But now we're going to cross the grain of it, so it's actually wanting to cut. See how. There we go. It should be faced off. Whew, that's dusty. Yeah, that's a little rough. Let's see if I can break that inner edge. Yeah, that's about what I expected with cardboard. It cut relatively good though. Now we got to bore it out, so I'm going to have to reset up for that. That could just rip it out, because it's going to want to try to unroll it. This was cutting across, you know, the layers are standing on the end this way. So it wasn't exactly trying to rip it apart when we go to bore it out. It might try to rip it apart. Alright, we're going to try this. I've never tried the bore cardboard, and I don't really have a proper boring bar either, so I'm going to try this. I mean, this has got to go up in, and we actually got a longer piece. So I'm just going to use this as a go no go gauge here. This could go horribly wrong. I'm surprised once again. A little ways to go still. It's tearing it a little bit, but that's going to be inside. I don't see it. That is dusty. It's doing a lot of ripping. But like I said, as long as we get there, endeavor to persevere. Right, Alex?
As long as nobody's bleeding.
Look at it. I think it's going to work. I'm going to get in there and trim that out with a knife. I'm not even going to play that game. Well, it worked good enough, and that's what counts. Lading cardboard, folks. Lading cardboard. The most precision of all the machining. It did kind of just rip it out of there. But what's important is that fits. And that's all we need. Just clean that out with a razor blade, razor knife. I think that's gonna work. And this is why we buy 50-cent mismixed paint, because other people might not want Mario pipe green, but we do.
Toothbrush blending.
That's pretty close. It's
close enough.
I think that's remarkably close. It might be a little lighter. paint that we just happened up on.
You have to let it dry and see.
Yeah, it will dry a little darker. Yeah, it's going to take 2 coats too, but got plenty of it.
Pattern worked out. This is what the edge looks like once it's sewed down, and you can see the really unique patterns left by the twisting. Remember to keep all of the offcuts of the HDPE from the mold, but you can remelt them down into more sheets, which are really useful. Using this method, there's pretty much no limit.
Our Home Depot paint is a somewhat close match, at least, to what my printer can do. So we're going to go over to our crate of tennis balls. Doesn't everybody have a crate of tennis balls in your lab? Or are we the only one? Well, we have a crate of tennis balls. And I'm guessing there's a tennis court not far from my house and from the local recycling center. And I'm guessing that someone who actually knows what they're doing playing tennis took these to the dump because I'm sure they're worn out to a real tennis player. Maybe they've lost their bounce or rubberiness or whatever. I'm assuming that's why you would find this many tennis balls at the recycling center, because that's where we found them. Nevertheless, we have a crate of tennis balls. So we have enough of these at our disposal to throw that one out and start over with a fresh one. So we'll do that now. Alright, last time I just made a slice right down the middle and left a little bit on the bottom so it would, when you would squeeze it, it would move. This time I think I'm going to do a more pronounced V. I'll see if I can get it cut even. And that'll give us a somewhat open mouth to start with, and even more when we get into it. And I'm hoping I'm steady enough to cut this, make a cut, move, make a cut without getting off. Let's see. Well, we're a little off. I think I might just go in with some scissors or snips and trim it out from there. I think it's going to turn out looking a lot better. If we can get the other side looking more like this side, I might go in and we're getting this because of the way, cut that off where you can actually hear me. Because of the way this sphere moves when you squeeze it, we're getting this roundedness here. So we actually need to do a negative cut to get it. A negative cut here will actually flatten out when it flexes. Right now it looks kind of like a flower opening up. We need it more of a straight cut. So we're going to come back and do a concave cut here. And I think I'm just going to do that with some snips or scissors or something. And we'll see. This one's an experiment. Like I said, we have that whole crate of tennis balls, so we can throw those out. Throw this one out too if we mess it up. As long as we don't mess up 50 of them, we're good. This seems to be working pretty good. You see, I've done this concave cut, and when you squeeze it now, see how straight that is versus this rounded, this convex here. It's all geometry, folks. And when we put these lips on it, it'll flex a little bit different. You won't even see this cut when it's open. But I think instead of having it sort of midway up and then trying to open it, I think we're actually going to cut this a little bigger to have it in this position and have something pull through the bottom to actually close it. Maybe we've just got to experiment with that a little and see how that works. I'm just going to trim it on out and see what it looks like, and we're going to go from there. We still got the issue of what we're going to do with getting it red. It's
What are you doing, Tommy?
Teeth for your piranha plant.
Alright.
And here's your safety glasses, Tommy.
Alright.
Well, we've got to figure out what we're going to do for a stem and these leaves. Big thing with these leaves is they're going to have to retract when we pull them down in and be like springy back out, I think. And from this picture, it looks, these are holly leaves, and they kind of, I think these are probably, whoever created this plant modeled these maybe after holly leaves because they have that kind of carnivorous look to them. Problem with these, with holly leaves, is obviously they're very sharp, and a child could touch this. This is going to be at a child's birthday party, and we would have to, I'd have to rehydrate these. You can see they're real brittle. So we're going to go and in our supplies and find something that we can either make look like this and curve, or something that actually looks like this off the shelf. So I'm going to go.
So what's going on here?
Well, I cut that off, and I just want to square it up, which is not too bad out of square. Just spacing off that, yeah, it's nice and straight. Yeah, that should be pretty flat there. I'm gonna tap that out. I can get a half 13 inside this. This is 1/2 inch CPVC, and a half 13 will, for what we're doing, give just enough thread in there to thread into. This is a little big for a half 13. We're getting probably about 30% thread in there, but that's going to be plenty for what we're doing with this piranha plant project. Now I just needed a good flat surface to start with on that. stiff enough for that. Put it there. Yeah. Give us a it's got kind of a weird look to it, but I don't think that's going to matter too much.
No. You think that little servo is going to be able to do that? Or are we going to have to use the big torque one?
Well, we can use the big torque one now. That is still a considerable amount of torque.
Right.
I mean, even if it just did that,
Yeah, I mean, it gets the point across. It's
Yeah.
a Piranha plant that's,
it pops up and just
yeah. I'm good with that.
if we use the big one, we're going to have to mount it underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not going to fit.
Of course, that's too short. We don't have a pile of this stuff. I need to thread that and then make the, make our custom plastic bolt, I guess. Here comes somebody. I'm gonna go towards the chuck, but it's making so much swarf that I can't see. It's a fine cut there. You can see the little lacy swarf right there.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I'd always cut towards the chuck. Perfect half inch right there. That edge up a little bit. Hey man, there's Alex. We're just gonna hand tap this thing. I'll get it out of there and do that next. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna drill the hole through it. Swarf everywhere. Cut down this length a bit. Now we got to put a hole all the way through for our string to pass through, and then we'll thread the pipe. Hopefully that will attach our tennis ball to the pipe. up there. It's hard to.
Saw that.
Plastic's real slippery. The more we cut on this, the more it actually doesn't smell like nylon as much as it smells like Teflon. It's kind of aggravating when you get unmarked material. Boy, I hope that's not too big. We might have to start over.
Too much of a hole?
I don't know yet. It's going to be real close. We'll see. It's not like it's that difficult to make another one real quick.
We have a segment called Redneck Engineering, or Don't Do It This Way.
This is kind of a don't do it this way of threading. I brought this die home because I knew I didn't have a half 13 die here, and I thought the dies here were hex dies, and they're not. They're round, so I don't have a die stock for it. That's the problem. I think we got enough wall on it, just enough for what we're doing. That's kind of a redneck way to thread stuff there, but it worked. We're kind of on a time frame for this Piranha plant project, so we're in that get her done mode, as some people would say. I generally don't say that, but thread this. And by the way, there's a set of 3 of these tap handles I got at the Harbor Freight, and they are, for what they cost, they are excellent. I would highly recommend those. I just bought them to see how they were, and they fare as well as the ones I have at the shop that are name brand. Now we're only getting about, this hole in this pipe's a little big. We're only getting maybe 30% thread, but for what this is, that's going to be fine. You would typically get 70% thread when you're tapping by hand, but I estimate this.
Yeah.
And there's our custom attachment threaded into the pipe. What we got to do is, I'll go ahead and just put the string, you know where to put it. May have to expand this hole a little bit at the bottom of this tennis ball. Basically this is going to go, we're going to have to cut this hole bigger. This is going to go through the tennis ball and thread into the pipe and secure it. And the hole we drilled in there so the strings that attach and pull it can feed down through. But we're going to have to get this hole enlarged a little bit there. This is, I think, I just used one of these cheap leather punches. It's a 3/8, so we need at least a half. So we'll find something to enlarge that hole with. Froze the plant. Woo. There's our complimentary hot snot strings. Still wish it was standing out more. I wish they were like that, at least.
You do some hot glue and freeze it there to kind of make it push out a bit.
Well, that's what I was doing.
Maybe a little piece of clear plastic.
Just didn't. It's not cooperating with me exactly. Ooh, frostbite on the finger. That's much better. Oh, I got out of air duster. I actually have to end up holding it one time. Drills it on the inside of the body. I have all these drills modified to take any of the batteries.
Well, the screws aren't gonna interfere with the pull string,
With what?
the cable.
Oh, I hope not.
Alright, hit the button. Alright.
Nope.
Alright, so right now we're mounting everything. We've got the wires ready to go. Things have progressed pretty well, as you can see.
Kind of under the gun on this. The birthday party's tomorrow. That's why we're leaving a breadboard in the mix. We're going to come back and put that on, solder that stuff to an actual board. That's going to work great for the meantime. Some of those, we're burning the midnight oil on this one tonight. That they're Duracell.
Oh, they're Duracell. Is that Tommy's brand?
Oh yeah. Okay, the switch is working. Okay, now that should be centered.
We got lights. We got anything. This is the final touches. Putting the last screw in here.
I don't remember which button does which.
I don't know that it matters. I guess if you hit one button and music sounds, then we know. Oh my god, that's so awesome. Now see if you can hit the button, the other button. Oh gosh, that's so awesome.
That pulls the power out of it.
He made this in electronics club.
Coming back up.
Wait, y'all back up, back up.
Back up. Right, you're first. Hit the blue button first.
Nope, you wait your turn.
I have a Mario character. I have a Mario character.
You do.
I want basic. Yes. You know, oh my God, Daddy, I'm using that.
Yeah, that's fine. You can hit the blue one or the red one. Either one.